Alright, good morning. 8.1, adding and subtracting polynomials. The first thing I want to do is define. So monomial is a number or a variable. I'm just going to put this on here because it's going to be easier. Number, a variable, or the product of a number and one or more variables with whole numbers, number exponents, no negative or variable exponents. Monomial. Okay, the degree of the monomial is the sum of the exponents of its variables. So, if it's -2, it's a 0-degree monomial. 8ab is a second-degree monomial. 5n is a first-degree monomial. 6x to the third, y to the second is a fifth-degree monomial because I'm going to be adding the pretty much the exponents, but of the factor. So 8ab is a monomial. It's a term, one term, right? So pretty much a monomial is a term, and then the degree of the monomial is the exponents added together. So some examples. Oh, and this would be 8a, oh, you did that one already, okay. So let's just do a few examples, like this one. This would be a 4th degree monomial. This would be, right here, this one would be a 6th degree monomial because 2 and 4 added together, right? And then remember when adding and subtracting monomials or combining like terms, you're just going to combine their coefficients. So -6 plus 11, remember the x to the 4th, just think of it as apples. So I have -6 apples plus 11 apples. If it's the same letter raised to the same power, they're like terms. So then add them together and you get 5x to the 4th. And then here I have a 2, x to the second, y to the 4th. X to the second, y to the 4th, so I'm going to just 2 minus 7, which is a -5, x to the second, y to the 4th. It's pretty important to remember when combining like terms like that it doesn't matter how many letters there are, if they're the same letters raised to the same power, you can add and subtract them. Okay, the next one. Polynomial is a monomial or a sum of monomials. The degree of the polynomial is the greatest degree exponent of the terms in a polynomial. So if I have 3x to the 4th, let me show this. Something like this. I'm going to write in here, but so you don't have to write this. X to the 4th plus 2x to the second.
And go get a book and all that.
Yes. This would be, this monomial is a 4th degree. So the degree of the polynomial, because these are two poly, many, right? The degree of the polynomial is the greatest degree. So this is a 4th degree polynomial. So the greatest degree, or the greatest exponent of the terms in a polynomial. Okay, and then leading coefficient, the coefficient is of the first term in a polynomial that is written with the exponents of a variable decreasing from left to right. So here, the leading coefficient would be 3. Okay. Binomial is a polynomial with 2. Trinomial has 3. 3 terms, 2 terms. Okay. And then we can do these ones together, actually. Okay, so if I have just a number, remember that the degree is going to be 0. And it's just going to be, the name is going to be a constant. Number of terms 1, name using the number of terms. Number of terms is monomial, because it's one term. We have 5x plus 9. The degree of that is going to be the degree of the exponent, which is, if it doesn't have one, it's just 1, so the degree is 1. It's linear because it's 1. 5x plus 2. The terms, there's 2 terms, so it's going to be a binomial. Okay? The degree, the highest degree of this one is 1, so it's not going to be 3, it's just going to be the biggest one, so it's going to be 2. Okay, now, quadratics. Quadratics have the highest degree is going to be 2. 3 terms, so it's a trinomial. This one, highest degree of the exponent is 3. It's cubic because it's to the third. Cubic because of this. It's only 1 term, so it's still going to be a monomial. Okay. The degree is 4 this time because the highest degree is 4. Still 3 terms, so it's still going to be a trinomial. Okay. And then a polynomial is written in standard form when its leading coefficient or leading variables exponents are written in decreasing order from left to right. Leading variable, the first variable when written in alphabetical order. So remember, if you have like x, y, you want to write your x first because it comes first in the alphabet. Polynomial written in standard form when its leading coefficient. Okay, so determine if the expression is a polynomial. If it is, find its degree and classify it by the number of terms. Otherwise explain why it is not a polynomial. So why is it not a poly? Poly means many. Polynomial. Is there another? So monomial or sum of monomial. So it's -6. A polynomial. Yes. Because the degree is 0, classified by degree and number of terms. So it would be a constant and a monomial. But we did say that we do not want negative or variable exponents, like exponential. So we have a negative exponent, so no negative exponent. This one would be yes. It's a third degree, so it's going to be a cubic. And there's 2 terms, binomial. That's what it means by classifying by degree and number of terms. So cubic, binomial. This one, it's not written in the right fashion, so we can rearrange this. And I'm going to rearrange this to -5x to the 4th plus 3x plus 9. Now it's written according to the exponents in descending order. So yes, it is. So it's a 4th degree. And once you get into like algebra 2, it's going to give you actual names for 4th. It's going to be quartic, and 5th is quintic. Anyway, 4th degree, and it's 3 terms of trinomial. Okay, and then I have w as the exponent, so it's no. Okay, standard form. The ax to the, how I should write this. So ax of a polynomial. So n plus bx to the n minus 1 plus, so it's going to be, and I'm going to show you an example, say like 4x to the 5th plus 2. These are going to change. X has to be the same letter, but it's then going to be to the 4th. Sometimes you don't have them like in descending order, so like this, there's maybe not a 3, but there's going to be a 2, and then you have a constant. And the last thing you always write is your constant. Okay? Alright, so leading variable is the first variable when written. So leading variable, okay. This is what we could have written for. Polynomial standard form is written when a standard form. Leading variable exponents are written in decreasing order from left to right. And then leading variable is the first variable when written in alphabetical order. Okay. So we're going to write these first in the polynomial in standard form, looking for the biggest exponent, and that's going to go 2x to the 4th. Remember, whatever plus or minus is before it, that has to stay with that one. So 2x to the 4th is written first, then this minus 4x is next. So negative 4x is next, and then plus 7. I'll write this third first, so 8x to the 3rd plus 5x plus 13, standard form. And then we're going to do this. Negative 7y to the 5th plus 4y to the 4th plus 2y. Is this making sense? Should I explain anything else in the video? It's pretty self-explanatory. Okay. And subtracting. So, distribute. If there's subtraction, combine like terms. Make sure to write in standard form. Okay, so if we're adding, we're just going to be adding the like terms. Because adding, order doesn't matter, we can change all, or pretty much get rid of all of those. So we're going to be adding the thirds. If I don't have a coefficient, it's always 1. So 4 plus 1 is just 5x to the 3rd. Then I'm going to go to the seconds, circling any of the seconds. So our circles are any of them squared, so I have a negative 3 plus 1, so that becomes a negative 2x squared. And then we don't have any others, just x's, so that's going to be our positive 7x, and then that negative 5 comes at the end. Making sure to write it in standard form. So I have 3, 2, 1, and then our constant. Okay, this one is the one where we're going to distributive subtraction. We need to distribute this subtraction sign within here. Or you have to remember that it's negative 4m to the 3rd minus, well, now I don't have another one, but how about this? Negative m minus a plus m. So this becomes, I have two negative signs here. So I have a negative 1 plus a negative 1. So that becomes a negative 2. So this, we want to make sure to distribute a negative sign within here. So negative, negative, and a negative becomes a positive. Two negatives becomes a positive. So negative 4m to the 3rd. I don't have any other thirds, so I'm just going to write negative 4m to the 3rd. This negative m, and this. And I want to get this out of here, so I know that it's gone because it's already here. But let's do this one first because it's the second degree. So I don't have any other ones, so I'm going to write that negative 4m to the 2nd. This is where I have two negative m's, so I'm going to combine like terms. So now I have two negative m's, or negative 2 m's. And then 9 plus 12 equals